Lember, and I work on the Red Hat desktop team. It's my first time here on DevConf, and I have been to Brno once before for Quadec though. And I'm a newbie speaker, so please forgive me if I stutter or forget what I was speaking. So thank you so much for coming to my talk. I'm honored that so many people are here, and today I'm going to be presenting Atomic Workstation. Some of you may already be using it, and I hope to convince others that it's a good idea. So what is a Fedora Atomic Workstation? It's basically a regular Fedora workstation, except that we ship it in a different way. So what we are doing there is that on the server side, we are taking all the RPMs that make up a Fedora workstation and put them into a container. And then on the client side, the client gets the base image as one unit. That's basically the main difference from a regular Fedora workstation. And here's a screenshot how it looks like, and it's a bit blurry on the big screen, but it's basically just a regular Fedora. There's GNOME software running in the background with applications and the GNOME control center, and that's what it is. So not that exciting, but the technology is interesting that's underneath. So the way we do this is that we split up the base image and applications. And that's pretty much the same as other new operating systems do it, such as Android and other phone OSs. And the technology for that is we use RPM OS3. RPM OS3 is a package manager similar to TNF, except that it can use OS3s and RPMs. OS3 is basically like a kit for binaries or for file systems. So the way this works is that we on the server side, we build an OS3 repository, similar to like a Git repository, and we just commit all the RPMs in a base Fedora image into there. And then the clients download the metadata on the client side. And what this gives us is that we get the whole image as a single unit, as opposed to maybe getting one RPM upgrade and not getting the other one, and then things breaking in a weird unexpected way. And on the client side, this also has a number of advantages. Similar to Git, since we can check out the whole tree at once, we get atomic updates, and, which is probably more important, we get atomic rollbacks. So when it comes to on client side doing an update, what happens is that we pull from the remote OS3 repository, like a Git pull, and this all happens online while you are using the system in the background. We pull updates, and then when you want to do the actual update, reboot and quickly reboot into the new tree. There's a small symlink changing which works atomically, and then instantly you are in the new tree. And if you want to go back, you just boot into the old checkout. And this is really cool because it gives us something we haven't been able to do in Fedora for a long time, or never, I guess, to actually go back if something goes wrong. RPMs or the whole Fedora RPM architecture is architected to go forward, but backwards is very difficult. For example, if we have package splits, we basically do obsoletes and split the package, and that's only one-way operation. If you want to go back, it's difficult. You have to do manual stuff. And also this gives us a really cool way to test different trees. Let's say you have a stable Fedora 27 installation where everything works, but you want to test your own work. If you're a package manager, you want to, what's the word? Not manager, maintainer. Yes, if you're a package maintainer, then you want to test out something in Rawhide. Well, right now in a regular Fedora system, it's difficult. You install Rawhide to a different computer, or you run it in a VM, but RPM OS 3 makes it easy. It's easy to also switch between different trees. So you can easily boot to a Rawhide, and if things don't work out, then you just roll back and go to the previous tree. And you can easily have like 2 checkouts, and you once boot into Rawhide, see how your things work, and then go back to your regular system just to quickly check out. And this should work. This should actually work really nicely for most people because home is separate. So all your data is separate from the base image. So I think this is a really cool feature. And so Atomic Workstation is composed of basically 2 parts, the base image and applications. And for the base image update, it's and we have split it up so that it would be possible to update the applications separately. Right now in Fedora, it's let's say Fedora 25 ships LibreOffice. What is it now? 5, and let's say LibreOffice in a year LibreOffice 5 comes out. Does Fedora get the update or not? I don't know the answer to that. But if we have applications separate, then separate from the base system, then we can install applications completely separate. Like we can get a new version, even though the libraries in the base system are old. So and because of that, we also have updates are a bit different for both the base image and applications. So for base image, you prepare the update online and then just boot into the new system. For applications we are planning on shipping as Flatpaks, and applications we just update online, and an application update means that an application that it also includes its runtime, which is separate from the base OS. So if LibreOffice, let's say, needs a new library, then it can update its runtime separately from the base OS, and this gives a really nice separation where it's possible to actually update apps without messing with the base system. This all sounds really nice, but me personally, when I first heard of the idea, it's not my idea, I have only been working on certain aspects of it, I was a bit suspicious, like, is it actually usable? Like, if it's one image, how can I change anything if I need to like edit the Python script in somewhere? Can I do that? It is possible. So there's 2 ways to do it. One way is if you want to change something temporarily. You do RPM OS 3 admin unlock, which is basically it mounts a read-write overlay on top of the base image, making everything writable. And then you can change stuff there, and when you reboot, you get back to your regular system. I believe there's also a way to save that work if you want to with, is Colin Walters here? Yeah.
The question is, you install some development stuff on top, and you want to actually make that persistent?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a different hotfix mode. We're going to make that story better over time. Basically, I want to have RPM mode so you can pull more of the development. It's the whole thing.
So he's our big hero. He came up with all the framework there. Can you stand up and Show yourself. This is Colin Walters. Right. So that's one way, and the other way is to use layered RPMs. Layered RPMs means that it's like a Git, so you can commit stuff locally to the tree as well. So you have a base thing, and then you commit your local RPM on top of it, and then just keep rebasing. That's the idea for layered RPM. So you can actually install RPMs on top of the RPM OS3 image system. So that was the base system. For applications, we mostly plan to use Flatpaks for Atomic Workstation. Owen Taylor has been working on Flatpak support in the Fedora infrastructure. Yeah. Applause for Owen. But we are not quite there yet. But we do have a FlatHub that already ships, I believe, 130 applications. 185, I think. 185, says Alex. But Owen's work includes rebuilding Fedora RPMs as Flatpaks to basically be able to ship all graphical applications in Fedora as Flatpaks. And the other way to install applications right now is layered RPMs, which is basically just DNF install replaced with RPM OS3 install. It just works. So Owen had a talk yesterday about Flatpaks in Fedora, but to quickly recap, there's two things we need to do. We need to build Flatpaks, which is just an end application, and then we need to build runtimes or runtime/SDKs, which is the libraries that the application uses. And there's a bit of a difference here. So to build Flatpaks, we need to, the plan is to take Fedora spec files and rebuild them into a different prefix /app and ship them in a Flatpak container. But base runtime is actually easier because this doesn't need rebuilding. We can just download a bunch of RPMs and put them in runtime. And the work is ongoing, and I'm not entirely sure if we can make this working for Fedora 28, but Fedora 29 maybe. We will see. Well, one problem with regular RPMs is that there's so many options. Let's say a base library, OpenSSL, gets an update. And when you update your system, sometimes dependency problem keeps one package not updated and updates the other ones, or sometimes you uninstall one package from your base system, and that creates a combinatorial explosion where basically you can't actually test the thing that end users are using because there's so many options. You can remove RPMs, update one individual RPM, get one individual RPM from third party. It's just so hard to test. But with an RPM OS3 image, it becomes much easier because we compose we use the same RPMs, but we put them together into one single tree on the server side, and that makes it one testable unit. So QA can actually verify that this works, and this is the same thing that the clients are going to be using. So I hope this makes QA happy. But of course, as with all cool technology in life, it's we create a new thing to improve old one, and promise less options. But actually, that adds one technology to the side. So yeah. So that was my talk. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming here. If you want more information, there's a link to the Workstation wiki. There's also IRC channels, and you can ask me or Colin Waters or Owen Taylor or Alex here. And thank you so much for attending. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah. So, how does this work with packaging and software? Does it always use flatpaks, or does it also do the underlying update or layer matching?
So the question was, how does this work with RPM OS3 and PackageKit? So, sorry, how does it work with GNOME software and PackageKit and RPM OS3? So GNOME software, I wrote a new backend for GNOME software, an RPM OS3 backend. So GNOME software on an Atomic Workstation system does not use PackageKit. PackageKit is completely out of the picture. So it uses the RPM OS3 backend. RPM OS3 has a daemon that GNOME software can talk to, and also uses Flatpak. So PackageKit is out of the way. Did this answer the question? Mm-hmm. Next. So the question was, if you do layered RPMs and it's basically like a git commit, local commit in a git tree, and then the new base image comes, do I as a user need to do something to keep my layered RPMs? So the answer is no, it's all automatic. It just pulls the new updated image and rebases the RPMs, local RPMs on top of it. It should just work. The question was, is it necessary to reboot after each base image update? The answer is yes. I believe Colin has some work done to not have to do that sometimes.
I have probably 3 that's basically focusing just on the RPM side. So if you're interested in the details of that, the short answer is it's a full hybrid image package system. So goes to your question, like it understands layer RPM. Do you have to reboot? No, because we do have an experimental live thread. It's experimental not in that it's going to each group file system. It's just that blending together live updates with pending offline updates that we haven't figured out the user interface. But yeah, so you don't have to reboot, but that's the default flow right now. If that makes sense. But we're definitely going to move the live changes out of the experimental at some point.
And to add to that, I guess GNOME software probably keeps on only using the reboot version of this. So if you want to do the live thing, you just have to fall back to the command line. If you use the admin unlock, you can just modify anything you want, and I think there's I believe the RPM OS3 has now gained support for replacing base packages as well without the admin unlock. This is probably something that the GNOME software won't ever support, but it's there for command line. So for anybody who wants to actually use the system as a development tool, it should all be possible. Okay, so one more question.
Maybe I missed that at the beginning, but will you support rollbacks on upgrades?
The question was, will we support rollbacks on upgrades? Yes, that's one of the main key selling points for doing this. So yes, of course. Mm-hmm. The question was, will there be a Fedora Flat Hub for people who don't trust third-party sources such as Flat Hub? Yes, the plan is to rebuild all or most Fedora applications into Flatpaks and ship them within Fedora infrastructure and build from the very same sources as RPMs. So yes, that's the plan. The question was if you install Rawhide and if you have a dual boot with where one tree is Fedora 27 and then another one is Fedora Rawhide, can this mess up settings file in etc? I don't know, but I'm walking over to Colin Wortes who can tell all about this, I think. I'll give you this thing. Hold on. Otherwise, I need to repeat everything, and that I don't want.
I think anytime that you're bouncing between different versions of applications, there can be a problem if the application has settings that have not been properly maintained. I think it's really an application level problem. Because we're taking applications out and putting them into Flatpaks, hopefully that will cause less problems. And I think it's really up to maintainers' applications of the GNOME desktop to make sure that running a developed version doesn't break your stable version.
I would add one. Just one thing I would add to that is this actually, in my opinion, intersects a little bit with the whole modularity discussion. So I think we should have both the latest Firefox and Firefox ESR in Fedora, both available as Flatpaks, right? And that's where all this stuff comes together and would make sense because, yeah, Firefox definitely had a format change just like last week or something like that. But if you want full stability, you run ESR, right? If you want the latest and greatest, you would run the newer one, but both would be available in this, from the same stream, if that makes sense.
So, and if you want more information, definitely recommend Colin's talk at 3 o'clock. Thank you so much for coming here, and see you at have a good conference continuation. How do you say it in English? And see you at next TemConf.